Forget the postcards and the tourist traps. Hawaii has officially been hiding something, with a straight face apparently. This isn't about ticking off a list, it's about uncovering a Hawaii most visitors never knew existed. 2,000 miles from the nearest continent, Hawaii has had plenty of time to keep secrets. Green sand beaches, islands that ban tourists, a peninsula that the government tried to erase. Turns out, paradise is a great place to hide things. 10 locations the guidebooks won't show you. Number 8 is a 300-foot waterfall hiding behind the deadliest beach in Hawaii. Go figure. Let's go. 1. Papakōlea Green Sand Beach, Big Island. We're starting with a place that looks less like Hawaii and more like a mineral exhibit someone dropped into the Pacific. Papakōlea, one of only 4 green sand beaches on Earth. The sand is literally green. Olivine green, a mineral that crystallized from a volcanic eruption 10,000 years ago. As the cinder cone eroded, those crystals accumulated on this one beach at the edge of the world. 3-mile hike each way across raw lava fields. No road, no shuttle, no signage. Most tourists don't know it exists. Fun fact, olivine is the same mineral found inside meteorites and on the surface of the moon, making it space dust with an ocean view. Planning tip, access from South Point Road, park, then hike. 2 liters of water per person, 0 shade, 0 facilities. Go early before the wind turns the hike into a sandblaster. 4-wheel drive shuttles run from the lot for those who can't walk. But the hike is half the experience. From space dust sand, we now trade alien geology for a cliffside descent. Because our next stop is a black sand beach hiding at the bottom of a valley. Most maps don't bother labeling. 2. Pololū Valley. The Black Sand Secret, Big Island. 400 feet down through tropical forest to a black sand beach where turquoise water crashes against jet black lava rock. Valley walls draped in ferns and fog. This is the Hawaii Instagram hasn't ruined, because you have to earn it. Pololū means long spear in Hawaiian, named for the ridgeline profile from the ocean, older than the United States. Planning tip, steep, 20 minutes down, 40 back up. Go early. After rain, the trail becomes a mudslide with no handrails. Do not turn your back on the ocean. Sneaker waves are common. The beach is stunning. The currents are lethal. From a black sand secret, we now scale up to the famous because the next coastline made Hawaii famous and most people only see it from a boat. 3. Pali Coast, Kauai. 17 miles of 4,000-foot sea cliffs rising straight out of the Pacific. No road access. Waterfalls pour off cliff faces into the ocean, and the Kalaupapa Valley cuts into the interior like a lost world that forgot civilization was waiting. The Kalaupapa Trail is the only land access, 11 miles each way, requires a permit that's nearly impossible to get, and has claimed more lives than any other trail in Hawaii, making it one of the most exclusive hikes on the planet and one of the most dangerous. The best way to see Napali is by boat or air. Book the early morning catamaran out of Waimea. Calmer seas, better light, May through September for reliable weather. If you're hiking, permits open 90 days in advance and disappear in minutes. Set a calendar alert, then set another one. From impossible cliffs, we now trade breathtaking for heartbreaking, because our next stop is the most restricted place in America, and it will soon be closed to the public forever. 4. Kalaupapa, the Forbidden Settlement, Molokai. At the base of the tallest sea cliffs on Earth, a peninsula the world tried to forget. And you can visit before it's gone. 2,000-foot cliffs on one side, the Pacific on the other. For over a century, the government exiled anyone diagnosed with leprosy here. Over 8,000 people were shipped to this peninsula, told they would never leave. Fewer than 10 surviving residents remain, and when the last one passes, public access will likely end permanently. This is a closing window. Father Damien, the Belgian priest who volunteered to live among the exiled, died of leprosy here in 1889. Canonized as a saint in 2009. His church still stands on that peninsula, making it one of the holiest sites in America that almost nobody visits. Planning tip, permit only, fewer than 100 visitors per day. Reach it by a trail with 26 switchbacks cut into the cliff. By mule ride, book months ahead, or by small plane. No children under 16. Go soon. From a settlement the world tried to forget, We now go somewhere the world literally isn't allowed, because the next island bans tourists from staying overnight. But there's one way in. 5 Niʻihau, the Forbidden Island, 17 miles off Kauai, an island where 170 people live with 0 cars, 0 paved roads, 0 hotels, and 0 tourists staying overnight. But you can get there, privately owned since 1864 when Elizabeth Sinclair purchased it from King Kamehameha V for $10,000 in gold. The residents are native Hawaiians who speak Hawaiian as their first language and maintain a way of life that has vanished everywhere else. 70 square miles of untouched landscape surrounded by reefs never trampled by a tourist sandal. Niʻihau is the only place in Hawaii where Hawaiian is still the primary everyday language, spoken in people's kitchens, not preserved in a museum, making it the last living pocket of pre-contact Hawaiian culture on Earth. You can't stay overnight. Helicopter tours from Kauai, land on an empty beach for 3 hours of snorkeling. No footprints when you arrive. Book through Niʻihau Helicopter, May through September for the best odds. From an island time forgot, we now go underground, because the next location is a 65-kilometer tunnel carved by magma, and the only way in is through one unmarked entrance most locals walk right past. 6. Kazumura Cave, the 65-kilometer secret, Big Island, the longest continuous lava tube on Earth, 65 kilometers. Almost nobody knows it's there. 500 years ago, a single eruption from Kilauea sent molten rock surging across the Big Island. The surface cooled while lava inside kept flowing, carving a tunnel longer than a marathon. Inside, lava falls where magma cascaded 60 feet, glassy walls with formations that look designed by someone with too much imagination, and cathedral-sized chambers you reach by crawling through passages a foot wide. Fun fact, NASA has studied Kazumura as an analog for lava tubes on Mars and the Moon, potential habitats for future astronauts, making it the closest thing to walking on another planet without leaving this one. It is only accessible through one private guided tour operator. No public entry. Constant 65 degrees. Bring a light jacket. Sturdy shoes required. No claustrophobics. Book at least a week ahead. From the center of the earth, we now surface into the most uncomfortable chapter in Hawaiian history, because the next island was a military target for 50 years, and the scars are still there. 7. Kahoʻolawe, the bombed island. The United States Navy bombed this island for 50 years. Then they gave it back. From 1941 to 1990, Kahoʻolawe was a live fire target. Bombs, artillery, naval gunfire, year after year. In 1976, Native Hawaiian activists landed during an active exercise and refused to leave. They were arrested, but the protests ignited a movement until Congress ended the bombing in 1990. In 1994, the Navy returned the island to Hawaii. 10% still has unexploded ordnance beneath the surface. Fun fact, Kahoʻolawe is the only place in the United States where the government bombed its own territory for half a century, then handed it back and said, "Your problem now," making it the most complicated piece of real estate in America. You can't just visit. Access is restricted to cultural practitioners, restoration volunteers, and authorized educational groups. Apply through the Kahoʻolawe Island Reserve Commission. Bring work gloves. Leave expectations behind. From a scar that's still healing, we now trade heavy history for a hidden waterfall, because the next spot is a 300-foot cascade at the end of one of the most dangerous hikes in Hawaii. 8. Hanakāpīʻai Falls, Kauai. A 300-foot waterfall most tourists never reach, because getting there means hiking the deadliest trail in Hawaii, then leaving it. 2 miles into the Kalaupapa Trail, a side trail branches into the Hanakāpīʻai Valley. The forest thickens, the canopy opens, and a 300-foot waterfall thunders into a moss-covered amphitheater. Most people turn back at the beach. The ones who keep going get this. Hanakāpīʻai Beach has claimed more lives than any other beach in Hawaii, but the falls, 2 miles inland, are perfectly safe, making it the most ironic safety warning in any national park. The beach will kill you, but the waterfall is lovely. Planning tip, round trip about 8 miles. Start early. River crossings after rain are dangerous. Check conditions at the ranger station. Don't swim at the beach. Do swim at the base of the falls. Bring a dry bag. From a waterfall the crowds miss, we now rise above everything. because our next stop is 10,000 feet above sea level, and the sun puts on a show that doesn't exist anywhere else on Earth. 9. Haleakalā, House of the Sun, Maui. A sunrise so famous the Park Service had to create a reservation system, but there's a way to see it that most people miss. At 10,023 feet, Haleakala's summit rises above 1/3 of Earth's atmosphere. The sun doesn't rise over a horizon, it rises from below the clouds. You watch it ignite an ocean of vapor from inside a volcanic crater the size of Manhattan, and for 45 seconds, you forget to breathe. 3 observatories operate here because the air is so thin and stable, making it the only place in Hawaii where you can stand above the clouds at dawn, and sunrise reservations are mandatory. Book 60 days ahead at recreation.gov. Bring layers, 30 degrees at the summit before dawn. Here's the secret. Skip sunrise and go for sunset. No reservation required. Nearly as spectacular. Fraction of the crowd, and you sleep in. From the House of the Sun, we now descend to the Valley of the King because our final stop was once home to Hawaiian royalty, and it still looks the part. 10. Waipiʻo Valley. Valley of the Kings, Big Island. The valley where Hawaiian royalty once lived and wild horses still roam. A mile-wide valley flanked by 1,000-foot cliffs draped in jungle. Multiple waterfalls cascade down the walls. Haleakalā Falls drops over 1,300 feet. At the valley floor, a black sand beach meets the ocean. Wild horses graze among taro patches, and the road literally ends. There's nowhere left to go after Waipiʻo, and that's the point. Fun fact, Waipiʻo was once the most populated valley in all of Hawaii, home to thousands and the seat of ancient kings. Today, fewer than 50 people live here full-time, making it a kingdom that went from capital to ghost town to the most beautiful valley you'll ever walk through. The road in is a 25% grade. Don't drive it without 4-wheel drive and experience. The overlook from the top is stunning on its own. A shuttle runs from Hanakāpīʻai to the valley floor without the white knuckles. The beach is dangerous for swimming, but the valley floor is walkable and magical. Wild horses, 0 cell service. Sometimes that's the whole point. If this video changed how you see Hawaii, hit like, subscribe for more unseen places, and comment on which spot you'd visit first. If this video made you laugh, dream, or scream road trip, you will love the next video. Click here. The next wonder is 1 click away.